Hello. In this video we're going to be looking at finding square roots of numbers. So when I talk about finding a square root, we're really trying to find the number which multiplies by itself to make the number that we are square rooting. So for instance, let's say I have the number 49. What is the square root of 49? Well, the better question is, what number times itself makes 49? And there are actually two answers here. 7 squared would make 49, and negative 7 squared would also make 49. So the square root of 49 we can write is equal to 7, but we also have to consider the negative version of our results. Negative square root of 49 could be negative 7. Now in this video, our goal is going to actually be to simplify square roots that are not necessarily perfect squares. So we're going to go to the next page here, and we're going to take a look at some of those. So let me just come up with a couple examples here, and I'll start with the square root of 12. So 12, what I'm going to do is make a factor tree here. Now 12 has the numbers 2 and 6 that divide into it, and 6 can break down into 2 and 3. So it's fair to say that 12 is the same as 2 times 2 times 3. And so what we notice is that while 12 is not a perfect square, we do see that there is a situation where we have one number multiplied by itself, namely 2 times 2. And 2 times 2 is the same thing as 4. So I can look at 12 as 4 times 3 instead. So what I'll do up top is I'll rewrite the square root of 12 as the square root of 4 multiplied by the square root of 3. And I can simplify from here. What is the square root of 4? Well, the result is 2. And what is the square root of 3? 3 is not a perfect square. There's nothing I can do about that, so I'll leave that as the square root of 3. Let's try a different one. How about this time we look at the square root of, let's say, 45. So the square root of 45, and again, I'll make the factor tree here. 45 is 3 times 15, and 15 is 3 times 5. So 45 can be written as 3 times 3 times 5. And once again, we see that we have a pair of numbers multiplied together here. 3 times 3 makes 9. Multiplied by 5. So I can rewrite the square root of 45 as the square root of 9 times the square root of 5. And we simplify from there. Square root of 9 is 3. Square root of 5 has to stay the square root of 5. And so this becomes 3 times the square root of 5. We consider this more simple than the other version just because it has a smaller number under the radical. We took as much out of the radical as we could. Let's try another example. And I'm going to go to the next page to get some more space. In this example, let's try the square root of 150. And so once again, I'll take 150 and I'll break it into a factor tree here. So we have 2 and 75. 2 doesn't go in anymore, but 3 does. 3 goes in 25 times. 25 breaks into 5 and 5. So I can look at 150 as 2 times 3 times 5 times 5. And here's our pair this time, 5 times 5. So 5 times 5 makes 25. We still have over here 2 and 3 multiplied together, right there. So I have to do something about that. So 2 times 3, I'm not just going to leave it at 2 and 3, I'll just do the multiplication. We'll make it 6. So when we rewrite this, I'll have the square root of 25 as my perfect square, and then the square root of 6, which were the leftovers. Square root of 25 becomes 5. Square root of 6, not a perfect square, will stay the square root of 6. And there is the simplified version of square root of 150. This time let's try the square root of 72. In 72, when we factor tree that, 72 is 2 times 36. 36 is 2 times 18. 18 is 2 times 9. And 9 is 3 times 3. So we have, for 72, 2 times 2 times 2 times 3 times 3. So we actually have a couple of pairs here. I have a 2 times 2, and I have a 3 times 3. 2 times 2 makes the 4, 3 times 3 makes 9, and the 2 will just stay a 2 in the middle since it doesn't have a pair. Now, since 4 and 9 were both a pair, 4 and 9 are both a perfect square, if we actually put those together, the 4 and the 9, 4 times 9 makes 36, which is also a perfect square. And 72 is still indeed 36 times 2. So I'm going to rewrite the square root of 72 as the square root of 36 times the square root of 2. And the square root of 36 is 6. And 2, the square root of 2 will remain as is. So 6 times the square root of 2. Alright, I have one more, and I'll go to the next page to do that with you. In the final example, I'd like to look at the square root of 600. And so I'll do the same thing I've been doing. I'll factor tree the 600. So 2 and 300, which is 2 and 150. Which is 2 and 75, which is 3 and 25, which is 5 and 5. So 600 is 2 times 2 times 2 times 3 times 5 times 5. And we look for our pairs, the numbers that multiply by themselves. So we have a pair of 2's, we have a pair of 5's. So this looks a lot like the one we just had. The 2 times 2 makes 4, and 5 times 5 makes 25. Now the unpaired stuff, the extra 2 and the 3, we'll multiply that together as well. So that's your 6. Now, we know that 4 and the 25 were the perfect squares here, and if we multiply those together, it should once again be a perfect square. 4 times 25 makes 100, and we're still multiplying by the 6. 100 times 6 is indeed 600, like we wanted. So up top, I'll break this down. 100 is my perfect square, so square root of 100. 6 is the non-perfect square, so square root of 6, multiplied on the back end of it. And then we simplify. The square root of 100 is 10. The square root of 6 remains the square root of 6. And that is the simplified version of the square root of 600. So that is our brief journey into simplifying radicals. We will use that more in the coming days. For now, though, we are done.